Tonight on UI7 News, we have breaking news about an explosion that occurred at the chemistry annex.
Ambulances and fire trucks rushed to the scene. We'll give you the latest. UI7 News starts right now.
From the Richmond Journalism Teaching Studio on the University of Illinois campus, UI7 News, your U of I news source.
Good evening, I'm Joanna Nowak.
And I'm Joncarlo Campos.
In breaking news, there has been an explosion at the chemistry annex on the U of I campus, with multiple injuries to some students. Firefighters are still on the scene.
UI7's Michelle Medeiros was there moments after it happened.
I hope everything's all right, but it's just kind of crazy how one little mistake can create something that big, of that magnitude.
There's some acid on their hair and face, so they're going to the medic now.
This is the chemistry annex where students say there was an explosion inside one of the classrooms. You can see behind me, firefighters are trying to knock out one of the windows. There were fumes inside the building. You can kind of smell them in the air around us. And what was it like to be there?
Oh, you kind of froze up at first because an explosion went off, and all of a sudden you saw a bunch of orange gas everywhere, and then you realized, like, I gotta get out of here. So you just kind of grabbed your backpack, whatever, and got out, and everyone just ran out.
Then was this one in particular student, or were there multiple students involved that were hurt? Did you guys see anything?
No one was hurt. Everyone got out relatively fast. It was pretty organized. It was just kind of scary. That's it.
And what do you think this might have, what kind of effect do you think this might have in the future? Do you think people are well prepared, students, TAs? Do you think they know what to do in situations like this in the future?
I mean, the evacuation process is pretty good, but I think that the handling of the chemicals could be a little bit better in the labs maybe in the future. It was a pretty basic reaction, but definitely a little slip up like that just goes to show you what could have happened. So.
In Urbana, Michelle Medeiros, UI7 News.
In other news tonight, the first snowfall of the season in Champaign-Urbana brings thoughts of winter. Next week is Winter Preparedness Week in Illinois, but now is the time to start thinking about how to best prepare for the upcoming season. On average, Illinois has 5 severe winter storms a year, and driving conditions account for over 28,000 vehicle crashes. Travelers should make sure to have a winter storm survival kit that includes a cell phone, flashlight, water, and a first aid kit. Recommended attire includes several layers of warm clothing, hats, gloves, and scarves. People should also remember to stay as dry as possible.
During this season, drivers will need to know how to best care for their cars. UI7's Michelle Medeiros has more.
Hello, I'm Michelle Medeiros. I'm here at Nissan, and we're learning how to upkeep your car for this winter. I'm joined here by Kevin. Kevin, what are some things people should know about preparing for winter and making sure their car is ready?
Well, the biggest thing, especially with the weather that we've been having lately, is batteries. We've seen a lot of people over the last couple of days since it's gotten cold that are calling up and said their car doesn't start. So we have to walk them through on how to try to get them started, and a lot of them have had to have a tow company come out and actually jump start the car. So I would definitely have the batteries checked as soon as possible, so you don't have the instance of where you go out and your car just doesn't start for you.
Is there sort of a checklist people should know to look for when they're going ahead and getting their car ready for the season?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, we have a visual inspection sheet that we present anytime you come in to have your car serviced. We check your battery. We also check wiper blades, your headlights, your tires. All those are key things to watch out for. We'll also check your fluids, make sure that they're properly maintained. Serpentine belts, which is another item that in the cold weathers can be affected with the cold weather.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Michelle Medeiros, UI7 News.
As the cold sets in, we can't forget about the well-being of our furry friends. A local veterinarian gives us some tips on how to keep our animals safe this winter.
Obviously it's getting colder, so that's one thing we want to take extra precautions for, not leaving them outside for extended periods of time, making sure if they're small they maybe have a little winter jacket or sweater that they can go out for. and just making sure they have a warm, cozy place to sleep and stay.
A rear-end collision with a Pisodum fire truck took place on I-57 southbound on Monday night at approximately 11:45 p.m. A 2005 Dodge Stratus failed to slow down while approaching a crash scene. The vehicles were parked in the left lane with their emergency lights on, and Troy Bailey, the driver of the Dodge vehicle, braked at the last moment and suddenly skid out of control, then crashed into the rear end of the fire truck. Bailey was cited for failing to yield to a stopped emergency vehicle and failing to reduce speed to avoid an accident.
Illinois gas prices are on the rise. Just 1 week ago, gas prices were $3.29 on average in the state of Illinois. Yesterday, gas prices averaged out to about $3.20. You may have noticed a slight increase in prices in some parts of the Champaign-Urbana area. You may find some gas prices that are still under $3, but for the most part, expect to pay above $3 per gallon.
While hitting the books, an Illinois master's student is already a successful business entrepreneur. US 7's Brianna Daniels has the story.
You may have seen these delivery service trucks riding around town and loading in front of your local grocery store. But did you know that the founder of the up-and-coming business was created by a student at the University of Illinois? In fact, he is a master's student studying electrical engineering.
Yeah, actually it's nothing related to what I study. So what I study is hardware, but what this Can't Wait requires is software and coding. So I actually just come up with this idea, and I talked to my co-founders, Fan Bo Tao, and he's a CS PhD.
Although Lei has no regrets about starting his business while still in school, he admits to barely having time for himself.
First of all, I don't get too much sleep. I have to live like a vampire.
After skipping several classes, thankfully, Lei's professors were very understanding once they found out about his business. With all Lei's duties he has to fulfill, TJ Can't Wait's general manager doesn't know how he keeps going.
I have no idea how he does it. He doesn't sleep. The man is a machine. He's very good at what he does, and he keeps, I am so surprised at how organized he can still keep things with as little sleep as he gets.
He's happy that he began his business early. That way, he can decide now if this is really what he wants. Even though Lei has a lot in his hands between his business and being a student, he still manages to balance his time. In Champaign, Brianna Daniels, UI 7 News.
Are your chickens at stake? Up next, we'll tell you why your backyard chickens may need to find a new home.
But first, in celebration of Veterans Day, we'll introduce you to one of our local heroes. Stay tuned. Injured veterans are offered new accommodations to help further their education. On Friday, the University of Illinois and the Ron Ches family broke ground on the Ches Family Foundation Center for Wounded Veterans in Higher Education. It took place at 908 West Nevada Street in Urbana, next to the Family Resiliency Center. The $14 million center will use several approaches to help veterans adapt to life with their injuries while attending the university. Although Veterans Day may have passed, veterans should always be celebrated. Kyle Robbins isn't your average student at the University of Illinois.
Well, coming out of high school, I didn't want to go straight to college. I wanted to do something different, a little bit more exciting, I guess you'd say. So I looked into it and ended up deciding I wanted to join the Marines. One deployment was to Afghanistan in the fall of '09. And the second deployment was a Marine Expeditionary Unit in the Mediterranean and Red Sea area, and this was spring of 11 to spring of 12.
Robbins is one of approximately 400 student veterans at the university. He credits the military for guiding him down the right path, teaching him discipline, and instilling values he'll use throughout his life.
I didn't really care about school. I didn't think it was important. I was just drifting through, but now that I've been out for a while, I think I'm more prepared for college than I would have been if I had came straight out of high school.
Although he's glad to be back home, Robbins says there's things about the military he loves and still misses.
Well, you definitely get to do things that you wouldn't be able to do anywhere else. Learned how to do demolitions and work with explosives. you spend 4 years and 2 deployments with some of these guys, and you know them better than anybody. You're your best friends.
Occasionally, you can find Robbins here at the newly built Illini Veterans Lounge.
He's a real solid stand-up dude. He served 4 years honorably in the Marine Corps. I see him serving 4 years here at the university and graduating, moving on to bigger and better things.
Kyle Robbins, Kylerobbins.
Joncarlo Campos, UI7 News.
U of I engineering professor Louis Wozniak is in hot water for a racy email he allegedly sent to students in May. The 72-year-old professor is not teaching this semester. He is facing repercussions for filming and sending an explicit email to students. The email had a statement about sex with students, but Wozniak claims that the statement was only a joke. U of I trustees will determine Wozniak's fate this Thursday when they decide whether or not to revoke his tenure.
Champaign City Council members will be voting on rules and regulations for housing chickens tonight. The majority of council members say they are open to the idea of backyard chickens, but the city still needs to agree on a set of rules before the proposal is passed. Tonight, the city council members will be discussing ways to limit odors, specification for chicken coop designs, potential fees, and other issues. The meeting is open to the public and starts tonight at 7 p.m. at the Champaign City building.
Illinois Governor Pat Quinn made his first appearance with running mate Paul Vallis earlier today in downtown Chicago. Both men say their primary concern for the administration is addressing Illinois pension problems. Vallis used to be the Chicago Public School Superintendent. He is leaving his job in order to focus on campaign initiatives in Illinois. Quinn's current Lieutenant Governor Sheila Simon is not running again this year. She decided to run for Democratic Comptroller instead. Now that the weather is getting colder, why not enjoy some indoor entertainment? UI7's Stephanie Kim has one way for you to stay warm and have a good laugh.
Improvisational theater, or improv for short, is a form of theater where all of what's performed is created without a script. 2 registered student organizations on campus are showing off their improv skills. De Bono and Spicy Clamato have weekly performances for free. Nicholas Dietrich is the president of De Bono and has been on the team for 4 years.
Improv is just amazingly fun. When you're performing, you feel really different than any other feeling. It's hard to describe. And when you open your mouth to start saying things, you're just surprised by what comes out.
De Bono focuses on the long form of improv. They incorporate music to make a Broadway-style musical in 30 minutes. Spicy Clamato is the longest-running improv group on campus. They focus on short form, which consists of short scenes and uses the audience for suggestions.
It's important to have enough audience members to have suggestions and just laugh and encourage us, and in turn we encourage them as well to have a good time.
Audience participation is a vital part of these shows. Jade Rickman comes to watch their performances regularly and has been doing so for 4 years.
My favorite part is just watching the teams and their dynamic. You can really see how much they practice and their chemistry. They fit together really well. People should come check them out because they're really good.
We're able to work with each other so well, and it's just fun just to be with a group of people and just fool around. Honestly, we're just having a good time on the stage.
You can catch both of these improv groups every Mondays at 7 here at the Illini Union Courtyard Cafe. In Urbana, Stephanie Kim, UI7 News.
Gamers, let's take a collective deep breath because the day is almost here. After almost 7 long years, the next generation of PlayStation is set to release at 12:01 a.m. Friday morning. The PlayStation 4 will release at various locations throughout the Champaign-Urbana area. Many of these stores will remain open until all customers have received their gaming system or until they've sold out. Stores encourage customers to anticipate long lines and to dress for the cold weather.
I'm really excited about the PS3 4. I have a 3 at home, and I just think it's going to be really fun to see what kind of changes they've made.
Oh, I'm so excited. My girlfriend bought me one, so I cannot wait to play it.
I bet. And it's the perfect activity to do in the cold weather because, let's face it, you don't want to get off your couch.
That's
so why
true.
not watch TV and play video games?
That's true. I definitely agree with that. With the snow out there, I think all I want to do this weekend is probably play some video games.
And have some hot tea.
That's true.
Yeah. We'll see what kind of snow and other chilly things are coming up after the break. It's time to bring out those coats. Champaign-Urbana received its first snowfall of the season yesterday.
UI7 Stephanie Kim is here to tell us more about the snow that's on the way.
Usually it's a bit warmer here in Champaign-Urbana. We are currently 15 to 20 degrees cooler than our average. Last night and this morning we got a glimpse of that cold winter weather, but luckily it's nowhere to be seen over the next couple of days. Currently in Champaign-Urbana, we are at 32 degrees, which is the freezing point. Our friends in Taylorville as well as Mattoon Charleston are looking at the same thing as well. Up north in Pontiac, they're at a slightly warmer 34, and in Paris, they're at 35. Our Midwest temperatures in Champaign-Urbana, we are at 32, and Chicago is looking at the same thing as well. Taking a look up north in Madison, they're at a cooler 29, and down south in Paducah, they're at a warmer 44. Our Midwest temperatures are looking at numbers in the 30s, and I do want to point out our national low for today is 27 degrees in Minneapolis. Miami is 50 degrees warmer than we are at 84 degrees, and Phoenix, Arizona is even hotter at 88. On our Midwest radar, you can see signs of that snow that passed through us last night as well as this morning. It's pushing its way towards the Carolinas. You can also see signs of lake effect snow in northern Indiana as well as western Michigan. We are currently under a high pressure system, which means that it's going to be clear skies for us over the next couple of days here in Illinois. You can see that front is pushing its way towards the northeast out of our way, and most of the country is under the influence of this high pressure system in the border of Kansas and Nebraska. I do also want to show you signs of precipitation out west. As this comes through over the next couple of days, it's going to bring us a 60% chance of showers on Sunday. On to tonight's forecast. It's going to be mostly clear with a low of 16 degrees. There's not going to be a lot of winds coming from the northwest at 5 to 9 miles per hour, but make sure you bundle up because it's going to be super cold going into tomorrow morning. But luckily things are getting better because it's going to be a sunny 40 degrees with winds coming from the south to southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. If you thought this was good, things are getting even better over the next couple of days. On to our 5-day forecast. Once we get past tonight's cold weather, things are going to be looking much better in the 50s over the next couple of days. It's going to be clear skies up until Sunday with those chances of showers. But if you're looking for a great weekend, do it this weekend with your family. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. It's going to be clear skies. So if you're planning on going to the football game on Friday, make sure to bring a light jacket and soak up that sun. It's going to be wonderful.
Sounds wonderful. Thank you, Stephanie.
And now, our resident sports expert, Cameron Barnes, is here with hopefully some great news.
Thanks, JC. Another tough week for football fans with the Bears and the Illini falling short. And Derrick Rose is hurt again? Back with that and more in sports after the break. The Illini football team is set to take on their toughest opponent this season as Braxton Miller and the number 3 rated Buckeyes travel to Champaign this Saturday. Tim Beckman and his boys are coming off a loss this past weekend to Indiana. Let's take you to the highlights. It was a high-scoring affair and a record-setting day for Nathan Shieldhouse. Early in the first quarter, out of shotgun, facing 3rd and long, Shieldhouse rushes out the pocket and finds wide receiver Steve Hull for 28 yards. The very next play, Shieldhouse hands the ball off to Josh Ferguson, who makes the first guy miss, jukes the second guy, and is off for the races for a 21-yard scamper. Illini tied the game 7-7. Later in the game, out of shotgun, Shieldhouse finds his favorite target Hull on a drag route as he has nothing but green in front of him to score his first touchdown of the game. Hull finished the day with 224 yards, but that wasn't enough for the Illini to lose, 52-35. And some good news for the Illini football. Senior quarterback Nathan Shieldhouse is one of 12 finalists up for the Woodford Award. The award is given to those who demonstrate outstanding community service as well as academic, athletic achievement. Shieldhouse currently leads the Big Ten in passing at 269 yards per game. John Gross and the Fighting Illini are off to a great start as they start the season 2-0. Joe Bertrand recorded his first career double-double Sunday with 20 points and 10 rebounds. The Illini will be back in action tomorrow, taking on Valparaiso. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. at the State Farm Center. After a couple of key losses, the Illini volleyball team is now at 500. and they prepare to take on Indiana this Friday at Huff Hall. Women's volleyball is looking to continue their winning ways after defeating Michigan 3-2 and then knocking off the number 17th ranked Michigan State Spartans 3-1. The game against Indiana will be at 7 o'clock. After a disappointing 5-3 round loss to Indiana in the Big Ten tournament, Illini soccer team found new life yesterday. They received an at-large bid to the NCAA tournament. The soccer team heads to Pullman, Washington to battle the Washington State Cougars on Saturday at 3 p.m. Led by Big Ten forward of the year, Janelle Flaws, the Illini make their fourth straight appearance in the tournament. The struggles continue for the Chicago Bears. They dropped a close divisional matchup to the first-place Lions 21-19. It was a real nail-biter. Let's take you right to the fourth quarter. 14-13 in the fourth, a lob to Megatron. He makes Peanut look silly. Later in the game, Josh McCown is in for the hobbled Jay Cutler. He steps up in the pocket and fires a strike to Brandon Marshall. The Bears need 2 points to tie, and Big Nick Fairley swallows up Matt Forte. The Bears fall to 5-2 on the season and second in the NFC North. They will host the 4-5 Baltimore Ravens this Saturday. Derrick Rose and the Chicago Bulls are back in action last night with a 96-81 win over the Cleveland Cavaliers. But it wasn't all smooth sailing for the returning superstar. Late in the fourth quarter, he suffered a minor hamstring strain. An MRI was not necessary. Rose told ESPN the strain is nothing serious and he believes he will be able to play against Toronto on Friday night.
Thanks, Cam. So word on the street is Dwayne Bowe, who hasn't helped my fantasy team at all this year, is probably going to get suspended for marijuana possession, and our boy A.J. Jenkins plays there. What do you think? Should I pick him up? Do you think he's going to have a good game?
You know, I really think A.J. Jenkins will have a great game. You know, he made that transition from San Francisco to the Chiefs, so I think that he will be a good pickup for you. So, you know, I agree. Just pick him up.
Nice. ILL.
And coming up in the Hollywood Minute, see how Miley Cyrus has shocked even more fans and what movie was a super box office success this weekend.
Miley Cyrus got her twerk on across the pond Sunday. The 20-year-old performer was the opening act at the MTV Europe Music Awards in Amsterdam. She performed in silver spandex, dancing suggestively with a female dwarf. She finished the number by, you guessed it, sticking out her tongue. It's a move she made infamous after MTV's Video Music Awards in August. Thor: The Dark World hammered out one of the top November openings ever at the weekend box office. The 3D superhero sequel opened with $86.1 million in domestic ticket sales, according to studio estimates. Bad Grandpa came in second, grossing another $11.3 million in its third weekend in theaters. And the animated holiday comedy Freebirds rounded out the top three with $11.2 million in ticket sales. For Hollywood Minute, I'm Christina Mutchler.
That's it for today's edition of UI7 News.
Thanks for watching. Good night.